Hello, Internet. Ben here with more mysterious space development. You may have noticed that the last video was 30 minutes instead of the 20, which I had tried to promise. Oops, I wanted to minimize this. This isn't real code. Don't tell anyone. We'll minimize it that way. That's more fun. So, last video I was trying to figure out the little orbiting eyes. Let's see if I have a save game I can load up. Well, you know what? It's fine. Watch the video. So they're firing all wrong. What I was trying to do was kind of have them equip weapons in the same way as players. So I was saying, fine, make a new weapon. You can have kind of randomish properties, but one of the real big differences between the players and the enemies is that the enemies need to have periods where they're not attacking you, just to give the player time to get in there. I mean, basically, the enemies have to be weaker than the player, right? The player can shoot nonstop. They can like turn on their invincibility items. I mean, those have cooldowns and everything, but you can attack constantly, and that's how you can win against tens of enemies or however. I was going to say like hundreds, but we never have that many. That would be crazy. Um, Enemies, on the other hand, because I am making you face lots of them, they have to have periods of like, okay, now I can't shoot or something, or now I stop my motion or whatever. They have to give you time to kind of react and work around them because it's not just them, it's everything else going around going on around you. So equipping them with a traditional player weapon just isn't going to work. It's kind of a paradigm I had in the beginning. I really felt, anything the enemies can do, I want to let you, the player, do. And the best way I could think to do that was say, okay, any weapon that I make for the enemies, then I can give to the players. And so that's how I started off with like the enemy that shoots in all four directions. Well, he's just firing a gun you can get, and you can get that four-way shooting gun too. Um, things like that. So but again, that's kind of changed over time. I really do need to have, and I had to already force those guys, they're not shooting their gun all the time like they could be. I could do the same thing here, but I really think that that's less important. I think what's more important is making interesting enemies, and if they have effects that I really like, then I can put those in items for you, and probably I'll need to tweak the rules for you, either to make it more or less powerful, depending, whatever. So I think it was a really cool idea in the beginning, but it's not feasible in the long term. So let's not try to do this anymore. Let's instead make a weapon cooldown, and it should be low. And then we'll make a weapon damage. And I think I also want sprite sheet ID bullet sprite or something. So here's what I'm thinking. I want the cooldown to kind of be the same. How do we want these to fire? Maybe that's the question. Should it be in like bursts of 3? I feel like that's a little more interesting. Where it's like pew pew pew, and then they stop, and then pew pew pew, rather than just being a regular pew pew pew. If that makes sense, right? That's just kind of monotonous. I think it's a little more interesting to have a more intense. It's like, oh, there's 3 bullets coming at me, rather than just kind of like this clockwork kind of thing. I mean, they'd be shooting on sort of a period as well. Although, having said that, they should use their charge of bullets when you are in line. Like, I don't want them to fire all the time. They should fire only when you're in line with them. And there's another enemy that does a similar thing. So let's do another kind of thing. We'll say like we're going to want a few things here. Maybe the bullet sprite will always be the same. I was thinking that if it deals more damage, I would use a different sprite. Because I'm going to have the damage increase as you face harder and harder versions of this guy. Maybe the options, or the correct answer, though, is just to add more eyes, so there's more bullets. I don't know. Then this is going to become bullet hell in the end, right? So anyway, let's worry about that a little bit later. What we're going to want is weapon rounds remaining and weapon round cooldown. It's not really rounds remaining. It's like we'll say like round index. I don't know. So again, what I'm thinking is the weapon will have its cooldown, and maybe he can only fire once every 3 seconds. But once he decides, okay, I'm going to fire, it needs to shoot off 3, and it needs to count, 1, count however many frames, 2, count how many frames, 3. Okay, now we're done and we're back on the normal weapon cooldown, right? So I need more variables to keep track of that stuff. So yeah, I'll call it round index, and I don't know. It sounds so dumb. what do I want to call it? You know, I'm just going to go with this, and if we think about our names later, it'll be fine. So what's going to happen then? We'll have the weapon cooldown. Let's think about how to balance this later, and let's just put in some numbers. So let's make it be, he'll fire every 1,000. We'll make it 4 seconds. That seems fair. And then the weapon, I don't know, we'll do that down here as well. And weapon damage, let's just set it to be strength. What? Come on, let's do like 1, and then strength divided by 2. So strength could be 0 or 1, and because we're dealing with integers here, 1 divided by 2 is 0 because it's not 1 divided by 2, yeah, is 0 because it's not even 1, right? You have to get all the way to 1 before it's 1. Because integers, when you divide integers, that's what happens. You have a remainder, and we're not using a remainder. And then, right, we're just going to add 1 to make sure we have a minimum of 1, basically. So this is no longer true. And we're going to say if firing, is that what it was called? If weapon cooldown is greater than 0, then, you know, similar thing here will weapon cooldown minus minus. This is a common loop we do, or a common bit of logic, right? So same thing here. How long before you retarget another player? We're also going to have how long before you fire off your weapon. So first of all, we need to put the weapon cooldown on our FPS times 4. And then we want to do, here's what we want. We want weapon round shots remaining. And we'll start this at 0. So what happens then here is we say weapon shot rounds remaining equals 3. We're now going to shoot 3 bullets, and we will set the, actually that's a lie. And then we'll say if weapon rounds shot remaining is greater than 0, and weapon, nope, that's fine. If weapon round cooldown is greater than 0, then weapon round cooldown minus minus, right? So how long before each shot do you suppose? I guess we would want frames per second. That would give us a second. No, that's way too slow. Let's make it like 1/4 of a second. And then we would reduce the shots remaining, and then we need to add the shot. So new bullet. I'm going to make a new bullet. It's an object I have. It's on this creature's level. Put it on his center -4. Center y -4. So again, we want it to be centered, but the position that I give a bullet, the xy, is its upper left. I don't know exactly how big the bullet is going to be. I need, if I want the bullet center to be lined up with the center of the creature, then from the center of the creature I need to go half the width of the bullet and half the height of the bullet, right? The smallest bullets are 3 pixels by 3 pixels, but again, remember that they're all double size pixels, so it's actually 6 pixels by 6 pixels. So I'm going to do -4 -4, which is a little more than -3 -3, which we want for the 6 by 6. But some things are going to be a little bigger than that, right? So, and again, if it's a little off-center, no one's going to notice. I mentioned this for the caltrops when they shoot their bursts. No one is going to notice because it's only going to be by a couple pixels. They're spinning around, you're moving, it's fine. So I don't worry about it too hard. It is, when I think about all this, it would kind of make more sense. I always want to position bullets based on a center of some point. So really what should be happening in here is that they should be adjusting their center by what they know their own width and height to be, so that I don't have to keep doing this minus minus thing. That would be a kind of a large refactor at this point. There's already a lot of things accounting for this. I'd have to go and track all of them down. So at this point, I'm not worrying about it. Bullets are all very small. They're similar enough sizes that good enough. But was it done incorrectly? Yes. If you wanted to learn from this, here's a thing to learn. You know, think about how you're going to commonly position things, if possible. You know, I mean, you can't be perfect. I think it's impossible. So anyway, let's make the x velocity be 0 and by y. So here's the thing. So now we need, are you facing left? So let's do a little thing, right? We're going to use this logic twice. No one wants to copy paste. If they do, then they're boring people who enjoy boring things. So we'll say facing, or is facing left, and it will return this thing, which doesn't need to be an if. Right, so you're facing left if you don't have a target or you're further to the right than your target, right? It's kind of weird. You know what? I feel like that's a weird way to word it. I think I want to do it this way. So if your target is to the left of you, then you're facing left, right? So now we can say if is facing left, and then we can also here say if you're facing left, then use a velocity of -4, else 4, right, to make the bullet fire in the right direction. Fantastic. Your sprite sheet will be sprite sheet ID. What kind of sprite? So the little guys explode using this star. It's called a star. It's like an 8 point. It's like an asterisk, kind of, except 8 points. So I don't think we want to use that again. I think we want to do something different for the eyes. I want it to use lasers. I want it to be lasers. So let's do a long laser. The reason why enemy bullet long vertical long laser, in case these bullets somehow get pushed, perhaps by powerful ocean, those upward currents of ocean water or something, push them up, they need to switch their graphic to be vertical instead of horizontal. So that's what that's about. And then we need to give them a color. Let's just do red for now. I just want to see what it looks like. We can worry about that later. It is not a player bullet, and its damage will be, I guess we were going to say the strength of the guy, right? We stored it as weapon damage. Good. Okay, so hopefully this will make him shoot rounds of 3 bullets at a time. Let's try it out. And by him I mean little eyes, which are eyes, and so I don't think they have genitals. They probably have the whatever. Don't know. Let's just make a new one. And hope that we don't have to look forever. Yeah, I saw on the minimap he's curving toward me. Also, dude, is this tree in space? Well, almost. It depends. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's getting up there. I mean, this is the middle of the screen. God, that tree is, like, reaches to space. That's impressive. Alright, let's go, find this. What? I thought I saw you turning around. I was deceived. I allowed myself to be deceived. That looked like a turnaround, right, on the minimap? Nope, it's this guy again. Maybe it's just that little motion down. It's throwing me off. That was definitely a little turnaround. If I go down, he's going to follow me down. Yeah. Ooh, it's all raining. I really need a raining sound effect. I'm really disappointed in myself for not having that. We'll add that in some other video. You are firing the wrong way, sir. That's because this is X. The first thing is X. The second thing is Y. Let's split this off, right? This line is like way too long. So here's your level. Here's your X coordinate and your Y coordinate. Your horizontal movement and your vertical movement. Horizontal and vertical laser. Your color. Are you a player bullet? How much damage do you deal? There. Now we can read that without scrolling all the hell the way to the left and right or whatever. Alright, continue. Please shoot your bullets appropriately. Yeah, you're going the right way. Wow, that's it's a lot of bullets. Why are there so many? This feels inappropriate to me. Are they really shooting? I need to shoot some of these guys off so I can see just like one at a time. Because I'm not, Jesus Christ, this is a lot of, what's going on? Okay, one eye. No, he's just shooting all the time. Look at that. Okay. It's kind of neat when there's just one of them. You can really see what's happening. Although, you can also see that this might be more bullet hell than I intended, so let's see what's going on. Okay, so if it's 0, if the cooldown is greater than 0, then we set a new round cooldown and do the shots remaining. Okay, if the weapon cooldown is greater than 0, then we minus. Else, that would help, wouldn't it? Someone watching noticed that and was very upset that I didn't notice. Alright. There we go. So he does nothing for a little bit. And then he shoots at me. His bullets are kind of slow. I'm not intimidated. Also, they right, they're only as fast as the ship. Also, I'm getting hit by other stuff though. Also, I feel like they don't need to make noises when he shoots them, right? Whoops. Oh no, I accidentally blew him up. Well, give me that fuel. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Oh, lightning. Let's see if we can find another one. See if we can test that out a little more. Yeah, that guy also turned around, unless I'm mistaken, it's a whale. Okay, I am to your left. Okay, I think it was probably the seam of the level kind of deal. We're going to have to think about that. Ow. So they all fire at once, which I don't like. They need to have random offsets, right? Because that's kind of weird. That's funny. Yeah, so let's work on that. We're gonna need to make a new game because they're already in sync. But I think what we want to do is say the game RNG next, right? It could be +1 because we actually want to be able to start. Well, no, start at 0. Okay, so we want up to 4 seconds for the initial cooldown per eye, right? So they'll all have a random sort of offset. And that should make it a little more interesting. I kind of wonder if maybe random isn't the correct answer and we would actually like to have, you know, like intentionally space them out. Okay, here he goes. Come and get me! Not you. Who are you? I want the big eye boss. Pew pew. Hey, you see that? Okay, I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that interesting? He sure is shooting stuff at me. He's not that scary, but he is also an early game one, right? Like, what level is this? The first or the second? So I should be able to beat him, and I did. Let's see if we go further. I'm kind of curious to see how much harder they get. There's the second level. Okay, we don't want to shop with you, Ophistiacoustians or whatever. And no, that's not him. That's not him either. So yeah, I'm just curious to see, hey. That could just be the big floaty guy. The big rectangle. Oh, nope, it's him. So yeah, so how much harder are you? Like, how many more bullets do you take? Ooh, got myself in a little bit of a... Okay, no, they're taking more. They need to make death noises, right? They're not doing that. Got that meteor swarm going on in the background is kind of distracting me. But they definitely take more shots, which is good. I mean, it's hard to say if it's the right level of difficulty, right? Because by the time I get here, I should have more powerful guns, and then I would be, you know, messing them up. We got fuel! Yeah, see these guys who fire. Yeah, God, did you see? Are you seeing this meteor swarm in the background? I don't know if that picks up on where those little eye guys go? Well, it's possible I blew them up. They don't make death sounds. Okay. It's kind of an enemy, right? Let's save and quit. I'll use that game again since I'm outside of a level. What do we need? I don't know. He's lacking a certain je ne sais quoi. Shoots his lasers at you. He just kind of does it. I mean, there's no noise. It would probably help if there were sounds. I also wonder if a different graphic. It is kind of like super long. I mean, we did say we want the long laser. I do kind of feel like a more interesting shape would be better, right? I feel like that sounds a little silly, but I think it's also kind of true. Or maybe if it like did a series of shapes, like maybe the first bullet was a dot, the second bullet was a short line, and then the last bullet was a long line, something like that, right? Like, is there anything like that we could do? I can try. I don't know. I don't know. It feels kind of boring to just have those things come out. You want to do something more interesting. He's a boss. He should be interesting, right? So let's try it out. I don't know if this is going to succeed, but let's try it out. So we're going to want a private read-only static list of lists of bullets, and this is for the eye. Okay, so equals new sprite sheet ID. So we're gonna have, and then a new sprite sheet ID. Okay, here's what we want, right? So this is going to be each pair of horizontal and vertical. So here is, oh no, I tried to undo because I wanted the different bullets. Okay, so this is going to be the first bullet. The first bullet they should shoot is just a, I wonder how big this square is. Let's just do a dot. Dots are the same whether they're vertical or horizontal. And the next thing can be bullet laser. Yeah, just laser. And then we'll need bullet vertical laser. And then we'll have the long laser. And I think So, right, the idea here is we will index into this according to the weapon rounds remaining. So when there's 3 rounds remaining, okay, good. It's okay. So it sets to 3. We minus minus. So we're going to go 2, 1, 0 remaining, and what we want is the first one to be the dot, and that's going to be 2. No, let's not do it that way. Let's do it this way. So let's do int bullet index equals 2 minus weapon shot rounds remaining. So when you only have, and this is a little weird. Let's I like things to be semantic. I like, if possible, to be a little, okay. So on your first shot, you have 3 remaining, and you're about to do that bullet. I guess it doesn't matter. It's kind of the same either way. But we want to start from 3, because you start with 3, right? So, okay, first time, shots remaining is going to equal 3. 3 minus 3 is 0, so we're going to get the 0th item in this array, which is this list, and then we're going to want, and then for the second bullet, then shots remaining is 2, 3 minus 2 is 1, so then we get the first, and the last one, yeah, this one, fine. So that's what we will do. So bullets, bullet index, and we want the, of the list that's in there, right? So first we're concerned about which of these 3 lists, and then once we've figured out that one, the 0th is our horizontal, and the first here is our vertical, and that's what the kind of bullets it wants, right? I mean, that's a little wonky, I admit. That's a little funny to follow. Maybe depends on how familiar you are with programming and working with arrays in this way, but we want to store everything up in an array. The thing I don't like about this is, like, it's super clever, but that means it's also hard to follow. Like, this is kind of weird. If we ever change it to say, oh, I actually want to shoot 4 bullets at a time, then it's going to crash when he fires one of these because, you know, there aren't 4 items in this array. So those kinds of things make me feel a little uneasy, but I don't know. But what? I don't know. I'm doing it anyway. That doesn't seem very responsible, does it? What's this do? Okay, that's fun. Sure, let's see. Do we get an eye guy? That looked like he turned around, right? Sometimes I can't tell if I'm just confusing myself or... Whoa, 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 whoa. Gosh, all these enemies are harder. So, yeah, they're doing it. See? Boop, boop, boop. They do short, medium, long. That's kind of fun. I kind of feel like it ought to be the other way. Long, medium, short. It's also kind of hard to see in the mix. I mean, they're going to need different colors, right? So let's give them... like to be distinct from the other bullets going on. So let's make them yellow or orange, maybe bright orange. Let's see what bright orange looks like. As long as it's in that yellowy, I think definitely closer to orange, red area, then I'm pleased. I really want them to whoops, stand out. Yeah, it's random. Let's go back here. Got any bosses for me? Not the one I want. Nope, not the one I want. Okay, I'll go back to easier areas. I don't want to... That's weird. Is that really the eye boss? No, it's a whale. We're on an ocean. It's the ghost whale. We go, oh my god. Let's get out of here. Lightning and huge ass snaky things. No, that's the thing. Gosh. Another ghost whale. You know, if you want to see the ghost whale, you can play this game yourself. I don't know. No, you. Gosh, I really just need to add a way in the console, right? It's getting to that point. I think I mentioned this before. Like, I just need a way in the console to be like, tilde, I'm not in debug mode right now, but, you know, spawn the eye. Actually, don't I have? Hold on a second. I think I've already set a precedent for this. Debug mode. You need to load. That's fine. Tilde. Spawn? What should be spawned? Help. Yeah. Spawn a Baleen, a Manufactory, a Rigel. I need to add a thing to spawn the eye, is what I need to do. Let's see what this is. No, what's this guy? Right, and because it's debugging mode, I can see all the numbers on, like, when is the lightning cloud going to shoot and all this funny stuff. I want to see. So what if I spawn a Baleen? But there's no... No, it hasn't. You lied to me. Spawn Manufactory. It did spawn the Manufactory. It can't actually spawn the Baleen here because there's no water. It probably didn't find it. Yeah, let's add the thing to spawn the eye, because that's going to be useful. Like, it's too having to go hunting and hoping that we get the right one, right? I mean, this is stupid. This is all for other stuff. Yeah, that is what we're looking for. We're looking for in quotes. What are you talking about? Really? That's interesting. There we go. Spawn thing. If spawn. Alright, so manufacture baleen, or we'll say eye. And then if you ask for an eye to be spawned, I see. Yeah, the baleen only spawns on lava or ocean. Else here, right, and it doesn't actually spawn otherwise. That's interesting, but it says that it has been. Huh. Well, anyway, we want to have big, or it was like eye boss or eyeball boss. Yeah, I can't remember. Okay. Spawn in the level. Now, why? Oh, we want ball boss. Yeah. Okay. You don't spawn the eye individually. You spawn the whole. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if this works. It should. I don't know why it wouldn't. Let's go to the ocean world. Well, look, and then we got one. Well, I want to try. I'm not in debug mode. I ruined everything. I'm sorry. Okay, good. No, see, that makes them nice and distinct. So we get the orange ones, but we can clearly see the yellow ones coming, and that's good. I mean, we want to be able to see. I do still think that a more interesting. Well, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting enough. It just kind of looks funny to me. It feels like it should be trailing the other way, you know? Like you start with the big one. Let's try it out. It's a something, right? Like, I'm not going to say, wow, it's amazing. It makes the boss so much cooler. But it does a thing. Like, I'm not disappointed. It has an effect. And if we put enough an effects together, then we will have awesome effects. And then I'll be happy. I just want to change it to be iBoss because, I don't know, there's like the, there's other enemies that kind of seems like it could apply to. So anyway, let's do the eye. Let's switch the order here. And let's start. I'm also kind of curious, how long have I been recording for? It doesn't show. It shows it to me in seconds. Who does that? 1644 divided by 60. 27 minutes. I've done it again. Man, it seems like. Well, that's okay. I shouldn't aim for 30 minutes. I should just keep aiming for 20, and then it can be. Then it'll be fine. So what's going on here? There we go. So now it kind of trails. I don't know. Is that interesting? Does it give you more time to dodge? I don't know that it really affects that. I mean, they're also spaced together. We could space them out a little more to like give you kind of an opportunity to weave. Let's try that. Let's try that, and then space them out more. So by the time you fire 4 of them, 2 seconds of the 4-second cooldown has already passed. So let's extend this out to 5 seconds. Because I do want a solid amount of time where it's like, no, they're not firing right now, you know? And that should be fine. The initial... Okay, they don't have any rounds going right now, so let's see what happens with this. Yeah, okay, you're a little confused. Okay, go! Long, medium... I don't know what's happening. Let's try this again. I think some of them are, like, confused because they hadn't fired yet or something. No, I mean, I guess it's just the way that they move kind of affects it more than, like, if they're moving away from you at the moment, they end up with very spread out shots. Still, I don't think this is bad, right? It's kind of weird to have the whole group of them. I almost feel like one eye that's stronger would be better than many eyes that are kind of weak. Although having it have many eyes is more kind of, I don't know, doesn't that make it a little more creepy? Yeah, I like the eyes look in my direction though, that's real good. I don't know, I love that little detail. The outline for them is darker than the outline for the middle, which is a little weird. I'll probably want to fix that up at some point as well. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking that one stronger eye would be better than 3, or maybe we have some little eyes that don't really do anything but look different, and then we have a big eye, that's actually doing the shooting. I don't know, something. It's so hard to say. Let's examine this in the next episode. I think that we've accomplished some little things here. Hurrah. And I hope that you've been watching and enjoying watching. I think that's more important than just watching. I hope you've been enjoying watching. And as I mentioned in kind of the beginning of the last video, but I'd like to say again, let me know what, if anything, you find interesting, or if there's anything that you find boring that I should de-emphasize. Yeah, that kind of feedback would be fantastic. So, thank you again, and I will see you hopefully in the next video. Goodbye.